What up, what up? This Finance, Fitness, and Folk channel, we discuss finance, a little bit of fitness, talk about some folk. So today's episode, I'm going to discuss why simping is breaking men. So admin notes, thanks again to all the subscribe to the channel. I endeavor to keep pushing the video out, give you leverage to better yourselves. If you're new to the channel, thank you for joining into the channel. Thank you for watching the video. Hope you get some out of it. So let's get into it. So why do I say that simping is breaking men? I kind of struggled a little bit as far as like what to name this video because I wanted to, of course, talk about simping, but I wasn't exactly sure as far as how to name it because I wanted to talk from a perspective as far as how men are spending a lot of money on women that don't deserve it, and then also wanted to speak on also how this particular aspect of talking to women is actually breaking men mentally, right? Because there is a mental part when it comes to this. So that's why I named the video what I named it. But in saying that, it's a lot of men out here, whatever, that's doing this thing, and it's pretty sad. It's not a good look at all. When you simp, you're pretty much telling a woman that you're not manly, that you're not a person that can necessarily. I don't want to say like defend them, but simping actually, a lot of times it comes with men giving women money, right? But that's not what women look for all the time in a man. Of course, that's one of the main aspects, but they look for other things as well. And if you're simping over a woman, it gives the woman a perspective that you're just not that guy. You know what I'm saying? You're not a person that that really can be, that provider, that protector, that person that has alpha male traits, which a lot of women like, and it just puts you in a bad position and a bad posture when it comes to women. So let me get on these two parts for us, like how it's breaking men financially and how it's breaking men mentally. So first of all, what is simping, right? So simping is basically you're giving resources, to a woman, to a young lady, without having anything come back in return, right? That's the basic definition of it. That's not the textbook definition, but if I wanted to explain this particular aspect of dating to a woman or a guy, that's more likely that'd be the analogy that I would give, or the definition I would give. And it's just it's one of those things where if you're a guy and you're doing this, right, from a financial perspective, right, you're giving this woman a whole bunch of money. You know what I'm saying? When she asks for it, sometimes if she might not ask for it, and you just give it to her anyway, right? Just freely giving money to this woman, whether it be like you taking her out on a date and you're paying for everything, which as a man, I do believe you should do that, you know what I'm saying? But you shouldn't do it like to a degree that like you're doing this over and over and over and over again. You're not getting anything back in return. Basically, she's playing you from that point. There's no getting around that. If you like the woman, and women do understand when you do get into space like that where they feel like, or they know that you like them, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes women will play on that, right? So basically, she's molding you into being a simp for her, right? And you don't want to do that. You don't want to put a woman in that type of power over you. So either you're doing that, or you're paying for just outings for her. You know what I'm saying? If she call you about a bill, you're paying for that. You're just doing all of these things that should be reserved for a girlfriend, but you're doing it for somebody that they're not your girlfriend. They're somebody that you like, but for whatever reason, they're not feeling you, but you're still feeling them, and then you're still giving resources to the woman, but you're not getting anything in return. Now, before I move on to something else, let me go to an aspect for it's like women putting men in a friend zone, right? So friend zone is basically like, the woman knows that you like them, or they may not. You know what I'm saying? It all depends. I think honestly, I think 99% of the time a woman knows when a guy likes them, right? But let's say for argument's sake that the woman doesn't know that you like her, right? But the woman doesn't have no attraction to you. She doesn't like you like that at all, right? So they basically have you in their space as a friend and nothing else. Like this, you're not going to move out of that space at all, ever. You're always going to be just a friend, and that's it, right? And let's say that you're in that space and you accept being in that space, and you're giving resources to the woman, going out with her, being a good friend to her, right? You know what I'm saying? But you like her and you want things to go, you want more, but she's not willing to give you more. She just wants you to be just a friend to her. And let's say years pass, right? You're being in this friend zone with this woman, and for a long period passes, and then all of a sudden one day she's like, okay, well, I'm just going to go ahead and give the guy a chance, and y'all wind up being intimate, right? So you've given, basically, you basically for those years beforehand, you was being charitable. You was giving to charity. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing I can really think about that will equate to that. You know what I'm saying? Like basically you was giving out resources for nothing, right? And then all of a sudden, years later, the woman decides to give you some, and then now she's being charitable. But guess guess how much of a return that she got before she did that versus you? You know what I'm saying? You gave all this money, all these resources to the woman, and you came right that off on a tax return. You know what I'm saying? You literally got nothing out of it other than maybe some conversation, right? That's it, and maybe a couple of hugs. That's not good for y'all. That's not good for men, period. You know what I'm saying? Now, real quick, let me jump over to the mental aspect, right? So there's a lot of men out there in this younger generation, and maybe in my generation as well, that are very awkward and don't know how to conversate, don't know how to hold a conversation with women, don't know how to just be sociable at all. You know what I'm saying? Like they may be extremely shy, they may be socially awkward because they may be a gamer, or they just got into this space where like they really don't want to be around people. If you're a guy that's in that space right now, you cannot expect at all to get with women, because women are very sociable beings by nature, right? So if you can't talk to a woman just in general, then there's no way you're gonna be able to get a woman. Now I do understand that dating has really gotten to this space where like it's a lot of online dating, but once the woman meets you and she sees how you are, it's gonna be a turn off for most women. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't take a chance that you're gonna find one that's gonna accept you being awkward like that, right? I just don't see that, right? But as you're receiving all these L's, all these losses when it comes to dating women and trying to be intimate with a woman, the depression sets in, right? And then you're having all these thoughts about negativity, and you're like, I'm worthless. I can't be a producer, a good producer to society, because I can't even get a woman. I can't even get a date. And then it puts you in this real dark space. And then, unfortunately, guys just really start to have these thoughts, if you know what I'm talking about, right? And it's a terrible thing, but it's real, right? So just, if you are in that space right now, you're watching this video, I encourage you to get with your homeboys, get with some strong male figures, and figure out how you can move away from that spot. Find a way where you can be in a position where you're not being awkward, you're not being a person that cannot be sociable. You're not paying for everything when you're not getting a return. You're not doing a lot of things that would be considered, just out of pocket for men. You know what I'm saying? Just in general, because we shouldn't be doing things like that. You know what I'm saying? I can understand to a certain degree when you're younger. Maybe like you're a little bit older than a teenager, like 19, 20. At that age anyway, you hardly probably got any money to begin with. You know what I'm saying? But I do understand that there's a stage in life where like men feel like that if they can't provide resources and money, You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna get anything at all. You know what I'm saying? And that's reserved to some men that are kind of awkward to begin with, versus, you know, guys that have swag in general. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of guys out here that's being intimate with women, and they're broke. You know what I'm saying? But that's because they got game. You know what I'm saying? They're not subject to that awkwardness that some men have, right? But in any case, if you're a person that you know that's simping right now, like I said, get with a strong male figure. Figure out how to navigate that thing. You know what I'm saying? And figure out how to stop paying for stuff when you're trying to be intimate with a woman, because it's not a good look for you. You're becoming broke, whether it be financially or mentally. And this thing is really getting out of hand. And I don't want to see a whole bunch of men out here simping. I don't want to see men pimping either, to a certain degree, right? I don't want them to see that either. But I'm really in a space right now where it's getting tiresome to see men simping with women. It's not a good look. That's not manly, right? It really isn't. So let's stop simping, and let's just stop simping, right? Because we don't want to be broken financially and mentally, all right? So if you want me to discuss a topic on the channel, do you think it would be beneficial to the channel, email me at findingfitnessfolk@gmail.com. The email address is in the description below. Finding Fitness and Folk, Triple F, I'm gone.